Hello everybody, I'm out in my garden today because it's such a lovely sunny day. And as I was walking through my kitchen, I found something on the side. I think Mr. Parker may have left it there on purpose. It is a pancake mix. I know some of you last week were a bit worried that Mr. Parker didn't get any cakes, so I think this is his way of maybe getting something yummy. And I thought to myself, that's brilliant. I will find this story and perhaps we could read it together for this week's work. Here we go. Mr. Wolf's Pancakes. One day, Mr. Wolf was feeling hungry and he fancied some pancakes. "Yum, yum," he said, licking his lips at the thought of a big pile of fresh, delicious pancakes. A bit like Mr. Parker. Mr. Wolf had never made pancakes before, so he took his recipe book down from the shelf and looked inside. But wolves aren't very good at reading, and had trouble making sense of it. So he went to get some help from one of his neighbours. He called on Chicken Licken, who lived nearby. "Please, can you help me read this?" he asked. "No," said Chicken Licken, slamming the door in Mr. Wolf's face. Bang! "Oh dear," sighed Mr. Wolf. He sat down, slowly read the book and worked out what he needed all by himself. Well done. Mr. Wolf looked in his cupboard for the ingredients, but he couldn't find anything he needed. "I'll go to the shops," he decided, and he settled down to write a list. But wolves aren't very good at writing, so Mr. Wolf called on Wee Willie Winkie. "You're very clever," said Mr. Wolf. "Can you help me write my shopping list, please?" "No," said Wee Willie Winkie. "Go away." And he slammed the door. Bang! "Oh, there's no need to be like that," said Mr. Wolf quietly. Mr. Wolf sat down and tried very hard with his writing until he had made his shopping list, all by himself. Now he needed to count his money to make sure he had enough. But wolves aren't very good at counting, so he went to the gingerbread man for some help. "Can you help me count my money, please?" he asked very politely. "No, I'm far too busy to bother with you," said the gingerbread man, slamming his door. Bang! So poor Mr. Wolf had to sit down and count his money. It took him a long time, and he had to check it 3 times before it was right. But he did it, all by himself. Mr. Wolf needed a basket to carry his shopping, so he called on Little Red Riding Hood. "Please, may I borrow your basket?" he asked very nicely. "No, I'm not lending my basket to you," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Now clear off." So Mr. Wolf set off to the shop without a basket. "I'll manage," he said. I love this picture. There's lots of lovely things in the shop there. There are some very funny ones as well. Mary's cockle shells and silver bells. I think that's from a song. Mr. Wolf went to the shop. He looked at his list and remembered what he needed. He counted out his money and carried the eggs, the milk and the flour home, all by himself. He's struggling a little bit there, but he's managing. Now it was time to make the pancakes. But wolves aren't very good at cooking, so Mr. Wolf called on the 3 little pigs. "Please, can you help me cook my pancakes?" "I'll share them with you," he said kindly. "No chance," chorused the pigs, slamming their doors. Bang, bang, bang. Mr. Wolf felt sad because nobody wanted to help him. I wonder why. Mr. Wolf went home and started to make the pancakes all by himself. And soon there was a huge pile of delicious pancakes on the table, all ready for eating. Oh, it looks like he's very good flipping them. Oh, maybe not. Look, I've just seen the picture there. Does look delicious. Now, as Mr. Wolf had been making his pancakes, a lovely smell had drifted out of the kitchen. All his neighbours could smell it, and it made them feel very hungry. They wanted some pancakes too, and they decided to try their luck. They haven't been very nice, have they, really? He does seem a very kind wolf, though. So they knocked on Mr. Wolf's door. "Give us some of your pancakes," said the rotten lot. "Why should I give you any?" said Mr. Wolf. "Not one of you would help me." "Well, we'll help you eat them," replied Mr. Wolf's neighbours nastily. "And anyway, we're not going to go away until you give us some." Mr. Wolf thought very hard for a moment. There was only one decent thing he could do. "Oh, very well then," he sighed. "You'd better come in." Mr. Wolf opened the door wide and whoosh! His greedy neighbours rudely pushed him aside and dashed down the hall. Mr. Wolf shook his head. He shrugged his shoulders and followed them into the kitchen. And when they were all in, Mr. Wolf gobbled them up. Snippety-snappity. And that was the end of his unhelpful neighbours. And then, with his tummy bulging, not quite full, Mr. Wolf sat down to eat his pile of pancakes. And he did it all by himself. Well, there was nobody else around. That was a bit of a twist, wasn't it, on that story? I thought Mr. Wolf was going to be a kind fellow. But then again, the neighbours weren't very nice, were they? Now, I was thinking this week for our English work, maybe we could help out Mr. Wolf a little bit. I thought that maybe we could write some instructions. Now, I have made some instructions and they've just blown over here, so I'm just going to go get them. Here you go. Doesn't have to be in boring pencil. I'm using nice coloured pens to do mine. Although sometimes it helps if you do a draft first so you don't get it wrong and spend a long time doing it in your felt tip pens and then it goes wrong. So my instructions are how to create a blog, because lots of you are starting to send your work through to me now, and that's really, really exciting. So I thought, oh, that's what instructions I'll do for Mr. Wolf, so he knows how to send his pancake pictures through to Mrs. Parker's web blog. So, got to have a title, and you know we like it underlined. If you haven't got a ruler at home, you can use something that's straight to help you get those nice straight lines. Sometimes a pencil can be used. Then I've got you will need. I've underlined that. And then I've said I need a camera and Mrs. Parker's email address. And there it is there. Then you've got to write about what you've got to do. What to do. And there are all my instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4. I numbered them because it makes it so much easier if you've got numbers. And then I decorated it with bumblebees because you know I like bees. Now, you could write instructions about anything you wanted to do. It could be something you've made. It could be how to play a game. It could be something really disgusting, like how to make a worm sandwich. You can make it funny. You can do whatever you want. But we could practice writing some instructions. And then you can send it through so I can put it on our class blog. I want you to have fun with this. See what you can do. And I look forward to seeing your work. Before I go, I just want to show you one more thing. Put that way round so it doesn't blow away. Look, to go on our pancakes, I found some honey. These are from our bees. And in a minute, I'm going to get Mr. Parker to take a photograph of the hive because they're going to go away for a little holiday this weekend for 2 weeks, and then we're going to move them. You have to take them away about 2 to 3 miles so that they don't get confused. Otherwise they keep trying to come back to the old place where the hive was. So we're going to give them 2 weeks, and then we're going to move them to the sunny corner of our garden. So then we'll take you a picture of what they look like when they're in their new home. So have a great week, enjoy the sunshine and have fun. Bye.